Welcome to the Wally Show Aftercast. All the things we did not get to during the course of the show today. Have you ever been in a place where you feel completely and utterly alone?
Yes.
Betty or Gavin? Oh, you have?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Where?
Well, in more serious times, like when I was going through a depression.
Sure.
Stuff.
Understandable.
Things like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have a comical twist to follow up to Betty's very personal?
Yeah.
Afro circus.
No, I feel alone in here a lot of times.
Oh, good.
With
Because you're like the oldest
And
one? Or
really, both of you like jumping in here?
Well,
know.
you're given too much space. Just say what you got to say.
I know. I feel alone sometimes in this room because I was thinking about this last night. My likes are so different from everybody else's likes around me here, and nobody cares about the things I care about.
Well, I would disagree with that because when it comes to your wood making things, you've got Chad who loves it.
Right.
And
But I mean
you
like in here.
Oh, in here.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Well, that's your fault.
yeah, well, just
How is this my fault?
You surrounded yourself with people that
Don't care.
well, different life. We're just in different life
Right,
stages. What do you
exactly.
expect?
Well, no, I
and
know.
the same could be said for some of the things that we like that
Yeah.
you don't like.
I always take an interest in your lives.
You can never remember what we're doing over the weekend, and your wife has to ask, and you're like, I don't know. I didn't ask.
You need to do better stuff.
Okay.
Okay, so what do you feel alone in today?
I feel alone in that, like, when I do something or I like, because my hobbies aren't the same as anybody, and no one gives a rip about them, and like the time it takes to do something,
Okay.
and like where I can share that with other people.
Wait a minute. Let me say something else because
What?
you always want to play the victim card. Okay?
Oh, I do? Okay.
Yes. And so here's the thing.
Yeah.
You have said you like to keep your friend group small.
Yes.
Okay. Well, this is what comes with keeping a friend group small.
Yeah.
If you surround yourself with people that don't have the similar likes that you do, well,
Right.
then this is what's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
We
Got to
don't
branch
not-
out.
We don't not ask questions about the things you do.
Well, I don't ask questions
No,
because I
Betty
don't
doesn't.
care.
Betty, see, exactly. See, that's exactly my point.
Never mind, you're right.
Gavin at least will like, oh, hey, how's that project going? Oh, yeah, let me see a picture. Betty does.
Because I'll ask about his silly woodworking thing.
Right. Well,
even
don't
though,
say silly.
Sorry, your deck, and you throw out all these words. I'm
Right.
sitting here like, whoa, 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 like it's
Yeah.
Italian or something to me
Yeah.
because I just don't work in that.
Yeah,
world.
no, I do appreciate Pastor Chad because Pastor Chad does, and not that I don't
So why
appreciate
are you
guys.
complaining?
I appreciate him because he does understand, like what it takes to do some of these things, and he can appreciate that. So I do appreciate that. But yeah,
Done and done.
there's times when I'm like, and I just realize, I'm like, wow, we are at really different stages of life.
Well, if we were
That's
too
good.
similar, it would be bad.
Yeah.
It'd be boring.
Yeah,
well,
that
it wouldn't
would
be
be
boring. It would just be very hate filled and
Wow, you were
Loud.
on a roll today. Like you're like, yeah, if we were just like you, it'd be really angry. Okay,
It's her truth.
yeah, I guess so.
it's my truth.
Oh my goodness gracious. That
Gavin, let's just agree with everything he says.
officially is the last
Nah.
time I share anything on my soul, in my heart.
I don't
there.
like that, Wally.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
I'm not
I'd
gonna-
like for you to share the things that you like.
No, I don't want to share ever
Be
again.
vulnerable.
No, never
Share your
doing that again.
feelings.
I
Like
learned-
Betty was when she explained how alone she was, and then
Yeah.
you followed that up
Yeah.
with,
Yeah, remember how I was there for you? Remember that? Yeah, do you remember that at all?
That was a good
Rock?
time.
Yeah, yeah, it was a great time. Oh goodness, there's a new study that says the average person gives up trying to be trendy at the age of 35. Now, Rock, you were at 37. Do you find this accurate that you care less and less about that? Because work is a different thing. Like work,
Yeah.
you come in here, you do your makeup at work, and you got a trucker hat on, and you always look cute.
Thank
but
you.
like here, you don't have to like. It's not like you're trying to be trendy or be the
Right.
office girl that's the cute office girl.
Well,
you know?
I think what it is once you pass the age of 35, you start seeing how ridiculous or stupid some of the trends are that the younger generation has.
Right.
Like this one about them dressing like their grandparents. It's a little weird.
Mm.
Or now the baggy leg, wide leg jeans
oh
are in.
my gosh!
And to me, the women that I've seen in them, I'm like, that doesn't look flattering.
No.
It makes you look really wide.
Yeah, my wife loves the wide leg pant thing, and she's like, they're just so comfortable. And I'm like, okay, I get it, I understand it, and I don't like that look, you know.
is wide leg different than bell bottom though?
Yeah, because bell bottom, they're like
They
skinny
flare.
until you get to the kneecap.
Yeah.
But then with wide leg, it's just wide from the hips down.
Gotcha.
I made the mistake the other day. We were out, and she said something about or like her outfit or whatever. And normally, like if I like something, I tell her. If I don't like something, I usually don't say something. I don't say anything because I don't want her to like go change because she feels like, oh, I have to wear things that you like. Like if I'm like, and I've told her a billion times, if you like something, man, if it makes you feel good, wear it. I don't care. But she said something about her outfit, and I was like, oh yeah, that's a choice that you went with today. Like,
has she said that to you before?
I'm trying to think. I mean, she'll tell me things that I have that she doesn't care for, but she buys a lot of my stuff. So, like, she'd be saying she has bad taste, But yeah, I just remember saying something like, yeah, I that's what you went with today, Yeah. And it was like, oh, that got cold for a minute. I'm like, well, I don't like these pants, so don't ask me about them. Like it's never. My answer is never going to change. My answer is never like one day I'm going to go, hey, you know what? Those giant wide leg pants, they're amazing. Like I'm a skinny jean person. I like skinny jeans, and so I think she keeps thinking I'm going to change my mind, and I'm not. But that is the benefit of being married for a lot of years is that you can actually have more honest conversations. Like when we were first married, I never would in a million years would have told her what I thought on like certain clothing choices and stuff like that. But the older you get, you're like, she'll deal with it. I'll deal with it. It's fine. Everything's great. And so anyway, so you don't feel the pressure. Did you feel the pressure to be trendy anywhere else? Because work is a different thing. I get that. Like you're going to church or whatever. Like, do you like?
Or you do hang out with a decent amount of people that are closer to my age, right?
Yeah, I would say at church, I feel a little bit more pressure to be like, don't look like your age. You need to look a little younger. But I would say that's about it. At home, I have shark shoes that I wear.
That's awesome.
With a Huggy, which is pretty much an oversized sweatshirt with my hair up, glasses on, no makeup.
Yeah, the man
everything goes
that meets you at church
it's gonna
and
have a rude
then
awakening.
marries you is gonna be like, what in the world?
How I'll be like, ha,
hey boy,
you.
Hey, yeah, like because like like
unless he loves shark shoes,
and Snuggies. Lady Rock, what do you got?
I have news for Gavin. It's about Harry Potter, and I know how big of a fan he is. And now Wally and I, this is something we agree on.
Yeah.
This is something that we both dislike together.
Yes, Gavin.
Ouch. Come on now.
So it turns out that I've seen the first Harry Potter movie, and I was like,
I've never seen one.
Well, you're not missing anything. I know that Gavin would disagree.
No, I wouldn't recommend. No, I've learned that you can't pander to an audience that does not buy into your fantasy, your love of fantasy. Right. So I wouldn't sit here and tell you, this is a great movie. Why would you? I love it because I love fantasy. You guys, you love, crime and reality, which is silly.
So Harry Potter fans are actually causing a bit of...
we are?
Of a big deal.
You're late to the party, Gavin.
Am I a Harry Potter fan?
There's an elf called Dobby in one of the films.
Yep.
And he, spoiler alert, he passes in one of the movies. Okay.
Sad.
So in the movie, they lay him to rest at a gravesite, and I guess they filmed it in Pembrokeshire, Wales.
Cool.
So Harry Potter fans are actually going to this location, and there is a cross there along with some rocks for this fictional character.
Okay, now I'm not going to totally make fun of this. Like if you go to a place that you saw in a movie that you like, I've done that before. Yeah. Like when I would go to New York, the first time I went to New York, I went to all these places of TV shows I watched where they shot different things. Project Runway. We went to Mood. Thank you, Mood.
You went to the place where they filmed Downton Abbey, didn't you?
Yes.
In the past?
That was a surprise. I didn't know that we were on a tour in England, and it was like, and they shoot a lot of the externals, exteriors here. Cool. Like, that's awesome. So I don't make fun of that. Like, I think that's good.
And if you're still a little confused on who I'm referring to, this is Dobby.
You shall not harm Harry Potter.
He has this terrible squeaky voice, and they did a good job with it in the movie per the book. But if you weren't this big Harry Potter fan, I feel like that character would get very annoying.
How did he die?
You want to know?
Yeah. I'm never going to watch it.
No. I know. Well, so as he is trying to teleport himself from one location to another, there's a villainous character who throws a knife and his direction, and you were watching the movie, and the way that they teleport, you kind of zaps into another location, and you're like, oh great, he got away from the knife, but you see the knife slow motion, and they're escaping.
As he teleports.
And as they escape, everyone gets onto this beach, and they're like, oh good, we're safe. And then you look over and you see Dobby like, holding his stomach.
You got him right before he teleported.
It is sad.
Poor
So
Dobby.
good.
For fans of the...
So good.
You shall not harm Harry Potter.
But you can kill Dobby.
That's what they did.
Yeah.
It was sad.
Well, it turns out that in Harry Potter lore, an elf such as Dobby cannot be freed from servitude if he is given an article of clothing.
From his, owner, per se.
Okay, so did Harry Potter give him a sock?
No, so
is that the story?
in the second movie, he is, quote-unquote, owned by a kind of in essence, like a wizard first, like a wizard racist that hates, people
Harry
who aren't
Potter.
magic. And so that person would have to give him an article of clothing. Well, Harry Potter actually slips a sock into a book, hands it back to that guy, and then that guy hands that book to Dobby. And
So
then Dobby
it
opens
became
it up.
given to him.
Yeah, Harry Potter tricked him into...
And he's free
Found
now.
a loophole.
Nice.
So he could technically give him his tidy whities and he would be freed.
Technically, yes.
That'd be weird.
Creepy.
Yeah, super
Well,
weird.
Anyways, so that being the lore, real life Harry Potter fans are actually going to the location of the gravesite of the fake Dobby, and they are leaving socks on the gravesite. Okay,
That's not
now
necessary.
this is becoming
Not a real...
an environmental problem.
Of course it is.
So the local officials debated shutting down the fake gravesite, but they are going to leave it up. Thank goodness, but only on one condition: visitors only take photos. They do not leave a sock.
Okay.
Okay, because it is near a beach, I believe.
Yes.
And so if you've got sea creatures and seagulls,
socks are
picking up
getting
socks.
stuck in
It's like the
fish's
new-
mouths.
Just give them to homeless people. That's the number one thing homeless people want is socks. And I guess they'd probably be mismatched. Everyone's just bringing one sock. But I mean, at least it's cold in Wales. You use them for something. Collect them all up and take them to the homeless mission.
That's a great idea.
Yeah, that's what I think.
I like that idea.
Yeah.
it's a good pivot.
That is a strong, good thing. I like that, Wally.
Thank you.
Don't want you to
Well
feel
done.
alone in your great idea.
Yeah. Well, okay. Now don't be pandering or patronizing. Okay. So.
It is.
Yeah.
It's a great idea.
Thank you. I
They
knew that.
should.
Yeah. I knew it was a great idea.
He's like, I didn't need your validation.
No, I didn't. That's one of my favorite lines from an early Batman movie. It's the one with Jack Nicholson playing Batman, and Jerry Hall, I think, was the love interest in that for the Joker. And he's getting ready, and she comes up and she goes, "You look amazing today." And he just looks at her through the mirror, and he goes, "I didn't ask." I'm like, yeah,
Confidence.
yeah, I love that confidence. Lady Rock, you have offered us on birthdays for a while now.
But
did you break the streak?
Did they come
there
through?
is one today.
Good.
And it's Elizabeth. She's turning 24 today. Happy birthday, Elizabeth. She said, I feel like this year is going to be a good year. Existing year.
Okay.
Good,
I was gonna say,
very
we
good.
don't have a ton of
Yeah,
time
you don't
left.
have much time left.
Yeah.
But her question is, did you have a year you just felt, in quotation marks, like big changes were going to happen?
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, sometimes you're really hopeful about a year, in January, this is going to be the best year ever. And then February rolls around, you're like, this is horrible.
I know you've said before in the past, Wally, you don't believe in the whole speak it into it.
I don't.
And,
Yeah,
and
I
I
don't.
agree. But there's still that side of me that says, I don't want to jinx myself
Yeah.
because I've seen it happen before where you're like, oh, no problems with the phones today. And then all of a sudden it's like the phones just go.
Right.
So I just don't want to speak it into existence. So I guess what I'm saying is if I do feel like which I haven't, I've never really thought about it, but if I felt like a certain year was going to be a good year for me, I wouldn't tell anyone.
Yeah.
Because
Just
I feel
hold
like
it.
I'm just jinxing myself.
Yeah, I tend to be more pessimistic, and so I've definitely felt, oh, this is gonna be a bad year, like that.
So never a good year, just a bad year.
Every year,
Okay.
I start off January it's gonna be a rough one. Buckle up, Buttercup. Here we go. I know. So yeah, I don't know that I've had more months oh, this is going to be a good month. You look at your things that are laid out and you've got trips that you're looking forward to, or work things that you're excited about and stuff like that. So on
Yeah.
a smaller scale,
It's easier to lay out that kind of stuff, though. 12 months is a long time for the things that you think maybe could happen to go awry.
Yeah, I've been looking forward to November because I'm gonna go and spend Thanksgiving with our daughter in Florida, and so that'll be fun. Unfortunately, we have to move her, which that's not fun.
Oh,
I know.
gosh.
And then it was funny because we're like, okay, yeah, so we're going to go to Florida this time, and we're not going to do Disney. We're just going to do Florida, and we'll find other things to do. And I'm looking for some fun water sports things, even though it's going to be cold. And then my daughter sends me a picture of a ticket yesterday, and we're going to Disney apparently.
Oh, you are?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, but they're free. They're her tickets.
Oh,
she gets them for free, and she has blackout dates, so she didn't think she was going to have tickets or the dates weren't going to work, and so it's like absolutely. And so I'm looking forward to, like, when it's free and I can go there, and then I don't feel bad about, hey, this was fun for 4 hours, let's peace out,
Right.
like I'll go home, or not go home, but go back to the hotel or something. So so I'm actually looking forward to that. It'll be fun.
Good.
Yeah, there you go.
That's great. One more thing that she wanted to mention, Elizabeth wanted to mention. She said, do you know that the McRib is having its farewell tour?
Someone else told me about that.
mean?
Yeah, they're doing it this year, and then next year it's not coming back.
Did they run out of McRibs?
They ran out of yoga mats to make them with. And so, I've already had my first McRib this season.
Was it good?
Amazing. It was the perfect. They had too many pickles on it, but that's okay. I took a couple off. It was the perfect amount of sauce. It got my hands just messy enough, but not too messy. It was. Now I want one. And I already had a McGriddle this morning. McDonald's is going to get their share out of me today. I
tried it, and to me, it's just
you guys didn't get it.
No.
It was lost on you.
Well, no, we did a Facebook Live a year ago about the various uses you could use it for.
Yeah.
I feel like that shouldn't be a thing you can do with food.
No, should not
So.
be. But it's so good. I don't know.
when
I'm
does
sad.
it stop?
I guess it'll run through November sometime, or December, and then it goes away. And so I guess now it's going to go away forever.
Are you going to stockpile?
I might have to
Buy a few?
Yeah, and put them in the freezer.
Ew.
Oh,
That's not a bad
Yeah,
idea.
that's a good idea. I
They
should,
came from a freezer. You're just returning them to whence they came.
Yeah, exactly. Like ashes to ashes, dust to dust, rubber
Frost
to
to
rubber.
defrost.
Yeah.
Rubber to rubber. Exactly.
All right. Well, with that, that's going to do it for your Aftercast today, and you know the drill.